Hey guys, so after my basically first month of teaching, I want assistanting. I want to say suspension is not bad, and getting expelled isn't that bad either for students because some students just don't want to be in school, and not only do they not want to be here, they want to act like they don't want to be in school. And there are kids who bully other students, and there are kids who really disrupt the whole class to the point that, yeah, they should be removed. And their parents should think about teaching them the lessons at home. Because parents really think they can give their kids to the school and that the school is just going to take it. Like, oh, any type of kid can come in here and they're going to stay. But that's not how it is. And I know there are some schools that are like, oh, we'll take all the kids that nobody really wants to deal with. But even those schools, because like that's how my school is, it's one of those schools that's like, oh, well, we need money and we get a lot of money off of these students, so we're going to accept them. There's even behavior schools that accept a lot of students, but those schools still tend to yell at the kids and, like, in a way, abuse them. They take away a lot of the kids' freedoms. Like, they can't really talk at lunch. They're not going to be able to have a recess. Some kids won't be able to eat lunch if their parent brings them lunch from home, like little things like that. No PE. Like, you can be in PE, but you're going to have to sit out because you did something bad. And a lot of students are going to have to do work, whether they know the answer or not. They're going to have to write something down and get used to that process of just not knowing things that the teacher has gone over. And it's not going to be fun for the kid to like sit in a class where the teacher is not going to slow down to help them. And then they have their parents who also don't care that they're in school. And then the kid is going to be bored and then they're going to act out because they don't understand the lesson. No one's helping them. And they also are upset at home. And it's just like a bad cycle. So you have kids going to bad schools because the bad schools are the only ones that accept them. And then you're going to have students going to like a good school, but they could be suspended or expelled because good schools do not play with kids that don't want to learn, don't want to listen, and just want to talk to their friends the whole day. And a lot of kids will, I guess, laugh and be like, oh, my teacher yells at me so much. Because I see kids, they be laughing about it. And it's like, you know that you can get written up, right? And this is going to be on your permanent record as well. Then there will be a record that shows the teacher tried to call your parents. Then there's going to be a parent conference. And then you can have detention. But you can also be like kicked out of school. You know that, right? Like you can get suspended for a couple of days. And I heard that if you have 4 suspensions, you're out. And then if you have 10, you're out. And when I was in school, I was so surprised because where I went in high school, they would get rid of students. Like if their grades are not getting pulled up, they start saying, hey, tell your friends that they need to pull their grades up or they're leaving. One boy was caught with marijuana and he was gone. He had to go to another school, which is a bad school, that will accept him. He couldn't stay at my high school, which was an A high school, like a good rated high school. And I didn't think it was a great high school, but I can understand how it was now that I'm looking at schools that were not so great, and I understand. but kids don't really know what's in store for them at these other schools because like the teachers are really strict and really mean, and then the good schools are not going to accept your behavior being bad, and then the bad schools, they can still want to suspend you, but a lot of times they're just going to take you to the principal's office and it's just not fun. And you're still not going to get a good education with people who want to teach you. So, as I was saying, parents need to stop seeing school as like babysitting for 7 hours a day, and parents need to stop thinking that homeschooling isn't an option, because when your child isn't getting the lesson and is failing twice, that means you have to step in and help them, because this kid could be on the track to fail 3 times in a row, or even they failed one time and then they're not allowed to fail a second time. I honestly don't know what happens with that, but I know that students should not be failing more than once, and that a lot of these parents are making their students, their children, in a position where they're going to fail, because these students still need to practice the lesson outside of school. And school is just like 30 minutes on each subject, and it's a 7-hour day. So they got to learn math, science, English, spelling words, all of that. And the teacher can't go through all of that with them. And the child has to try to repeat it at home for at least 10 minutes. And then they're also going to need a quiet, calm environment to do so. And parents think, oh, I don't have to homeschool, but you still have to give some type of schooling. You still have to give some type of review. And if you're not doing that, then you're going to have to do it in the future when your child gets like expelled or suspended or kicked out of class, and now they have to do more makeup work, and then they're going to be more lost because they weren't paying attention in class and the teacher had to yell at them, and it's just a lot. And so these parents really think their kids are just going to go to school and get a degree or go to college or something. I don't know what these parents think is going to happen to their child when they're getting yelled at the teacher. They're getting yelled at all day. Like, and then as soon as they get in the school, they're already like pouring water bottles on a random kid that's not even in their class. Like, they're already punching a girl in the stomach for no reason. And this was just one boy in 2nd grade. And he also gets F's on tests. And I know he doesn't like that, but he finds it like hard to focus and hard to learn. And I don't know why, when he's just walking home, he's so angry because something at home upset him. But it's like, school is not the place that's going to really help his behavior issues. And I don't really know what's there for these students. Schools are supposed to teach social, emotional learning. So teach kids how to work together in a group and teach students how to manage their emotions without hurting others and go through emotional intelligence. Even if it's not working, they should do that, because I know math isn't working. Reading isn't working. Teaching kids how to write letters hasn't been working because these kids' writing is not that great. But like, students should know about how to manage problems and problems with others and not like get violent. But these teachers aren't teaching that. And they are allowed not to teach it because like no one's checking them to make sure they're teaching the right thing. And so all I gotta say is parents do have to help their child in school, whether it's getting them a tutor, whether it's giving them a quiet environment to study and learn, whether it's answering the phone call from the teacher and making sure their student stays calm and quiet in class and focuses. Like, parents do need to show up, and if they don't, then their child is not going to stay in school, and they could definitely get expelled or suspended. And maybe that's not the worst thing because the kid wants to not be in school anyway. And being held back a grade makes kids' self esteem go down. And a lot of kids don't feel more confident in learning, they feel less confident. And being held back is not good for children. And that the parent should really like help, but I know a lot of parents, they don't see that as an option. But if they don't, this child is still going to need extra help no matter what. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't know how I even made it out the school system. I'm surprised I even graduated high school because a lot of kids are failing. And a lot of kids find what I found hard but still manage to do it. They find it impossible. And no matter what, like, teachers as well need to give extra time to their students. They need to stop leaving at like 4 p.m. and start being like, I'm gonna leave at 2 and then I'm gonna help a student at 3 p.m. and then I'm gonna help another student at 4. Like, there's nothing good about sitting in a classroom to 5 p.m. Like, you need to be interacting with your students, especially the ones who want you to help them. And so, yeah, it's going to take a lot more than 7 hours a day. And a lot of these teachers are lazy in that regard because their students need more help.